good. We'll be fine.
That's always my best theory. Hey, today I have with me Ross Baker, and Ross is from Beyond Bills. He also has another couple of businesses as well. Eyes on where?
Eyes at Narangba.
Eyes at Narangba, as well as Beyond Bills. Basically, Ross is a long-time entrepreneur who is really passionate about helping other people not waste their money.
That's right.
Is there any truth to the rumour that you come from a Scottish heritage?
Half Dutch, half Jewish. So, yes.
No, there is no truth to that rumour. And we'll stop making those aspersions about casting those aspersions about Scotsmen. I'm from a Scottish heritage myself, so I feel that we can get away with a little bit of leniency there. Are you a former accountant?
No, not at all. Not at all. Good try.
I am. And that's where my frugalness comes from, one of those two areas. But for you, what started driving your passion about helping people save money?
Well, I've been in small business for over 17 years, and I know that a small business is like a child that never grows up. It's always requiring more resources. It cries in the middle of the night. It stops you from taking holidays sometimes, but it is the joy of your life. And as a small business owner, I found that there were plenty of times that we spent money almost out of habit. So, what was a good idea a year ago ends up being an expense that you can do without somewhere down the track. Someone suggested rent a mat. It's better than buying one. Well, when we reviewed that, 2 months worth of renting a mat, and you've actually bought it. So there are a lot of little subscription things and little bills here and there that we might pick up, or costs that we pick up that we don't stop to review because we're too busy.
And it's not even that. It's with the rapidly, ever more increasingly rapidly changes and additions to the different apps and things that you buy. So often there is a built-in one app, and let's just call it Office 365. When you buy that online and you have access to Teams and that sort of stuff, it covers so many different things that you don't actually know about. And when you can actually get Teams to work for you properly, and I'm going to say that isn't as easy as we all thought, but when you can get Teams to work for you properly, you can save thousands of dollars a year on other stuff that you could be buying already.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm sure that's not the only example. I'm sure you've got lots and lots and lots of examples. And in fact, you've built a strategy around helping people identify where they could be unnecessarily, we won't say wasting money, because there was a reason that they bought that in the first place, but where they could be unnecessarily still donating money to other people who probably have more money than they need.
Kevin, that's right. Beyond Bills works with individuals and small to medium businesses just to examine, mate, the costs that we have. Essential services is the tag for that. Electricity, merchant services, phones, mobile phones, internet, just to do a review, and a no-cost review, by the way, just to have a look at the bills. And look, what we find is that sometimes just by tweaking a plan or having a look at simplifying a solution, we're not duplicating, we're just trimming the costs by hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in some cases.
Now, Eyes on Narangba, I imagine, so it's a retail shop?
That's an optometry practice that does retail as well, yes.
Yeah. So it's a retail setup, bricks and mortar business is really what I was trying to say, but did a really, really bad job of that. Maybe I'm not having my very best interviewing day. So it's a bricks and mortar business. And in that style of business, you have to be ever so much more careful about every single cent that you spend.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And look, all of the services that I go out and help people review, I've actually run through my own business and tested. And electricity, merchant services, all of these things I've basically put into practice in my own practice. No pun intended.
put into practice squared. But anyway, so I'll stop telling really bad jokes. The real beauty is, how often should we be reviewing our accounts and bills and things?
Well, more than the average, which is for a lot of people never, or occasionally. A lot of people I know on a probably 12 to 24 month basis do that. I know with electricity prices, we see around July there is a change in the market that gets rolled out to us. And so I know that with the customers I'm looking after, that in July I start making phone calls to shift people to modify their plans just to maximize their savings.
And
So yeah, look, I've got people.
I'm going to guess that
Sorry.
people do this about as regularly as most people will do a business plan. And it's one of those things that they know that they need to do, and they're just going to get around to it as soon as they have enough time.
Working on the business as well as in the business is a really tricky balance. And that's where I enjoy the business of Beyond Bills, because I help people to find a life beyond bills. Man, I wanted to call it Kill Bill, but that was taken and a bit too gruesome with the blood.
You could have called it Kill Bill 2. Oh, that was taken as well.
That's taken, yes. So yeah, but anyway, I didn't do it. It's Beyond Bills.
Whoever thought a movie with that name was going to be violent? I don't know.
No,
so you've got a 5-step strategy. If people don't want to come and see you and all that sort of stuff, you've still got a 5-step strategy for them, hey?
Well, yeah, 4 steps versus 1 step, so 5 steps. So here's the 4 steps. If you're doing it yourself, collect your bills. So yes, well, that's it.
And so then the second step, which is the first step, is?
So collect your bills, compare your essential service providers to all the other options, which is the time-consuming part. Switch where you find better value, and also in the process, consolidate your services to make sure you're not paying for duplicate or overlapping services. Look, a good example of that is had a customer who was paying for 2 separate landlines. And when we examined the bills, one of those landlines was for a wall socket that was empty. The FPOS machine used to be plugged into it a year ago. And that happens.
So I think you just gave us all 4 steps in 1 step there. So let's slow down and do these all slowly.
Absolutely.
So the first step was to grab out your bank statements and your credit card statements.
Yep. So
and to have a quick look at
your
what
statements. That's it. And look at those recurring payments. Have a look. Do your own audit. And look, if you've got a good bookkeeper or an accountant, they will be marvelous at picking up some of these things. So definitely collect your statements, go through them, and along with that, you're looking at all of your bills. You basically just need to pile them up and collect them and have a look, allowing you to then go to the next step.
Because all of those little bills that cost between $7 and $50, they actually add up really, really fast.
Yes.
And then when you multiply them by 12, it can come into thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Which could be awesome. Thousands of dollars could even contribute really well to your next holiday.
It could. You look at streaming services. You join one for a month's free trial, but you've put your credit card details in. And then you get billed, and you've finished binge watching your favorite show, but you're still getting billed.
It's kind of like that.
Without, yes, absolutely. Yep, for sure. So yes, without collecting your bills, without going through your credit card statement, your bank statement, you really lose track of that. So that's a critical thing.
So once you've identified all the different things that you are getting billed for, what's the next step?
Well, effectively cancel what you don't need. I only just recently canceled the Shave Club, Dollar Shave Club, because, the races were cheap, but if you're not using them, what's the point? So
that was your turn.
What can I say? Absolutely.
Is that a COVID beard?
Yes. Well, slightly pre-COVID, but yes, it is.
Excellent. So cancel what you don't need, as in the Dollar Shave Club, the gym that you're not going to if you haven't gone back after COVID, and all the other things. 3, when it comes to your utilities, was that the
So
next
yeah,
point?
effectively you're switching where you can. So there are a lot of services that offer the compare scenarios where you can compare one against another, and word of mouth is a really big reason why we will often shift. Um, but effectively, we're just doing the review process, and we do that with insurances. We do that with all sorts of services. So it avoids us paying the idiot tax, or actually the politer term, loyalty tax that we pay.
Oh no, I think being blunt and in your face is quite often a really good way to go, and I'm happy to call it the idiot tax because every now and again I fall victim of this, and then I do hit myself on the forehead and go, oh my god, that I thought I cancelled that 12 months ago.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's amazing what we look over, and we've had business coaches come through our bricks and mortar store and look through the place and find the dead moths in the window, and we've seen them for a year, but they've become invisible. And I think little charges and little fees and little costs and duplicate bills, services that we've subscribed to, all those things become like the moths in our windows that we've just gotten so used to seeing that we look past them.
Well, we don't know. So that it's kind of like white noise, or it's and as I
Yeah,
said, it is about eradicating the excessive payments that you don't need to be making. The final point, though, is really to be doing the analysis to make sure you are getting the best deal.
absolutely. And look, that's where I had all these steps versus just the one step, which is effectively the dance that I do with my customers, the one step, where they send me their bills by email or they bundle them up and I collect them. And effectively, we make an appointment to sit down, have a cup of coffee, and we review them. We provide a bit of a snapshot to say, well, here's what you've given us, and here are some suggestions. Again, a free service, but it provides a bit of a audit, so to speak.
Absolutely. So the major things that you help people with is their electricity, their water, I'm guessing, gas. What else?
So yeah, electricity in Queensland, electricity and gas in other places where it's deregulated, internet, so NBN at this stage, and landlines, VoIP phone services, mobile phones and plans, security. So merchant services is also a big one where we have a connection with the provider who provides the terminals to the banks like BOQ. Well, we deal directly with them and provide a quote, comparative quote for the same service that cuts out the little extra that the banks take.
Fantastic. So mainly bricks and mortar stores, or is it all sorts of businesses that you help?
Look, effectively anybody that pays a bill, we can help. So whether it's a business, whether it's a home, whether it's an online store, if you've got some bills, obviously things like merchant services are for bricks and mortar stores or mobile businesses or people that are on the markets, anyone that uses payment processing. So yeah.
Fantastic. Now, you even have a download that helps people understand this a little bit better, yeah?
That's right. Yes,
And
I
I'm
do.
going to let it be your responsibility to put that download in this stream because I've got to run off to another business meeting.
Fair enough. I can do that. So I'll do that after we finish talking, right?
As soon as we finish talking. So, Ross Baker from Beyond Bills can help you get over your bills.
Beyond your bills.
Beyond your bills. So yeah, absolutely. So look, it's one of those things that we need to get on top of. It's July. It's time to be doing reviews and all that sort of stuff. Absolutely. As you're thinking about your business planning, as you're thinking about your expenditure for the next year, let's make sure that you are making the maximum use and getting the best return on the investments that you've got. Definitely grab the link and click on that, or put a comment in the messages, and Ross will give you a call. And you can coordinate
Absolutely.
catching up.
Brilliant. Thank you, Kevin.
Excellent. Thanks for coming in. I do appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Okay. Bye
Great
now.
talking to you. Thanks, Kevin. Bye, mate.